Excuse me. Introduction. We are living through a scientific revolution as illuminating as the discovery that Earth orbits the Sun, yet the current revolution does not focus on massive planetary bodies, but on life too small to see with the naked eye. An explosion of discoveries is rapidly unfolding about the life below ground within us and literally everywhere on the planet. What scientists are finding is that the world we know is built upon a world we have mostly overlooked. Throughout history, naturalists relied on their unaided eyes, ears, and hands to uncover nature's secrets, but our senses handicap us when it comes to her hidden half, leaving the microscopic world shrouded in mystery. Only recently have new gene sequencing technologies and more powerful microscopes given us a window into this world. Scientists are now seeing that complex microbial communities drive many things we depend on, from soil fertility to a healthy immune system. Our curiosity about the foundational importance of microbial ecology arose in the unlikeliest of ways on a stay-at-home journey to our backyard. Both Ann and I have been trained to observe and notice nature. I, through my study of the geological forces that have shaped Earth's landscapes over immense periods of time, and Ann in her work as a biologist and an environmental planner in the field of public health. So we bought a house, began to dig into the soil of our new yard, and discovered we had fixer-upper dirt. Our professional training kicked into gear. At the front of our minds, we figured out how the lousy soil would never support a garden. Anne acted first by following her gut, feeding organic matter to our lifeless soil. A lot of organic matter. Ton after ton of coffee grounds, wood chips, leaves, and home-brewed compost tea disappeared into the ground. Lo and behold, in what seemed like no time at all, the plants in our new garden began to thrive and grow like mad. I didn't see how something as dead and unappealing as the organic matter Anne added to our soil could so rapidly spawn a blossoming of life. It was this simple mystery that launched us both into the mission of discovery. As we soon learned, microscopic soil life chewed and chomped its way through the organic matter, turning it into a smorgasbord of nutrients for our emerging plants. The idea of another world run by tiny, invisible, and largely unknown creatures fascinated us, yet their unidentifiable effect rippled upward from beneath our feet. In less than a decade, our yard went from a barren lot to a garden teeming with life. Watching the amazing impact of our renewed soil showed us the solution for one of the oldest problems plaguing humanity: how to grow food without depleting or destroying the soil. The experiment unfolded outside our back door confirmed the pioneering insights of early organic farmers and gardeners. By nurturing the microbial life below ground, we can reverse much of the damage caused by the ancient practice of our plowing and modern overuse of pesticides and fertilizers. But our journey didn't stop there. We found that the life of the soil is only part of the hidden half of nature. When Anne was diagnosed with cancer, it led us to question the notion of her health itself. Where does it come from? This was when our view of the microbial life within us began to change. At first, we shared the conventional medical view that sees microbes mostly as pathogens. We had both experienced the power of modern medicine to combat infections and were thankful for antibiotics that had saved our lives. But it is not only the bad actors of the microbial world that influence our health. The latest revelations about microorganisms show that we are not who we thought we were. This was brought into sharp relief a few years ago when a large consortium of scientists reported their findings in the journals of Science and Nature. An unfathomably vast array of invisible life, bacteria, protists, archaea, and fungi thrives on us and in us, as do innumerable viruses which are not considered alive. Their cells outnumber our own cells by at least 3 to 1, and many say 10 to 1. Yet we are only beginning to learn what they do for us, and our planet, like the bodies of plants, animals, and people is literally covered inside and out with microorganisms. Not only are they abundant, they are robust, able to withstand the most extreme conditions the planet can offer. To help you navigate the exciting world of microbes, we've included a glossary, a few endnotes, and an extensive list of sources for those who may wish to delve deeper. The more we looked into these recent discoveries, the more we were intrigued by the parallel roles of microbes in maintaining the health of plants and people. And we learned the new name for microbes that lived on us and in us, the human microbiome. We began to see how microbes could help restore soil fertility and counter the plague of modern chronic diseases. We had stumbled upon a whole new way of seeing nature. In this book, we will tell the story of our journey, uncovering and connecting ideas and insights about the emerging revolution swirling around nature's hidden half. We lean on, draw from, and champion the work of dozens of scientists, farmers, gardeners, doctors, journalists, and authors. It is a story that explores humanity's relationship with microbes. We are now realizing that microbes, long seen as invisible scourges, can help address some of the most pressing problems facing us today. This new view of microbes is shocking. They are essential parts of us and plants, and always have been. Such a view points to an astounding potential for promising new practices in agriculture and medicine. Think animal husbandry or gardening on a microscopic scale. By cultivating beneficial soil organisms or microorganisms on farms and in gardens, we can ward off pests and boost harvests. And in medicine, research on the microbial ecology of the human body is driving new therapies and treatments. A few decades ago, such ideas would have sounded as preposterous as invisible life itself did a few centuries before that. The emerging science of a microbial basis for health directly challenges the wisdom of indiscriminate campaigns against microbes in agricultural soils and our own bodies. Some are our secret silent partners. This is no doubt that studying the natural world in neatly compartmentalized subjects let us grasp the otherwise incomprehensible complexity of the whole. Specialization has allowed scientists to chalk up spectacular successes and discoveries. This is the standard approach in seeking cures and treatments for what ails crops and people, but this limited vantage point conceals broad connections fundamental to the microscopic world and our own. It doesn't help that profound changes have occurred in the way that scientists write about and communicate their scientific discoveries. Pick up a copy of Science and Nature from a century ago, and the average reader can understand what the authors of pretty much any article are talking about. Not so today. Modern scientific jargon, for the most part, dumbfoundingly mind-numbing. Not to pick on any particular research group or journal, but in researching this book, we often found ourselves wading through sentences like recognition of peptidoglycan by the NOD1 in IECs elicits production of CCL20 and B deficin 3 that direct the recruitment of B cells to LTI dendritic cell clusters in cryptopatches and induce expression of SIGA. Unintelligible to most. This is actually an example of succinct scientific writing, the kind of advisors and editors encourage and sometimes insist on. It packs a page into a sentence, but who, other than technical specialists in that field, can comprehend its meaning? In simpler terms, this phrase says that certain intestinal cells recognize particular types of bacteria, and that this bacterial recognition causes immune cells to release substances critical to health. Of course, it conveys more details like the name of the particular molecules and immune cells involved, but sometimes clarity on the specifics can obscure larger messages, and the more we delved into the microbiome science, the clearer it became that we all need to know far more about the microbial ecology effects on our well-being and our environment. Researchers in microbiology and medicine are uncovering the intricate symbiotic relationships that exists between people and microbes living in and on our bodies. Bacterial cells live alongside the cells lining our gut, where deep within our bowels they teach and train immune cells to sort friend from foe. Likewise, soil ecologists have made strikingly similar discoveries about the effects of soil life on plant health. Bacterial communities inside of and around plant roots help sound the alarms and man the barricades when pathogens storm the botanical gates. As it turns out, the vast majority of bacteria in the soil and in our bodies benefits us. And throughout the history of life on land, microbes repeatedly deconstructed every piece of organic matter on the planet. Leaves, branches, and bones, fashioning new life from the dead. Yet our relationship with the hidden half of nature remains modeled on killing it rather than understanding and fostering its beneficial aspects. In waging war against microbes for the last century, we've managed to unwittingly chisel away much of the foundation on which we stand. And while impressive and transformative new products and microbial therapies are on the horizon for both agriculture and medicine, there is a profoundly simple reason we should care about the hidden half of nature. It is part of us, not apart from us. Microbes drive our health from inside our bodies. Their metabolic byproducts form essential cogs of our biology, and the tiniest creatures on Earth forged long-running partnerships with all multicellular life in the evolutionary fires of deep time. All around us, they literally run the world, from extracting nutrients plants need from rocks to catalyzing the global carbon and nitrogen cycles that keep the wheel of life turning. It's time to recognize the essential roles microbes play in our lives. They shaped our past, and how we treat them will shape our future in ways we are only beginning to understand, for we will never escape our microbial cradle. Nature's hidden half is deeply embedded in us, and we are in her. Chapter 1, Dead Dirt. I'm going to continue because this is kind of a test, so I'll upload this live stream and I'll read Chapter 1 as soon as I get a chance. Thanks for the people watching this later because I don't have any live viewers.